Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Eamon. Good to see you. Alright, just getting my chats in view. Maybe someday someone will chat on Rumble or X, but I don't want to miss it. Alright. Okay. And one more thing. Alright, I think we are good to go. See the 30th anniversary for news on .hack. So I know that's an anime, right? .hack / I don't even know if that's how you say it, but I guess I don't know enough about it. But no, I've not seen much on the anniversary for that. All right, let's do this. All right. I spent a good amount of time yesterday trying to figure out how to stream from my Steam Deck and have everything play on my laptop, but unfortunately my capture card is not cooperating, so I'm a little concerned for playing Resident Evil 9 on this thing and streaming to 5 different places at the same time. It might have to reduce the settings quite a bit. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I can figure it out. I think I just need the right cable. Anime, video game, visual novel, movie, etc. It's everything all at once. I remember it being advertised on... I don't know. We're on the same age, right, Eamon? Do you remember... Toonami? It was like... Cartoon Network's segment of the day where they showed anime. That was my first Cartoon Network was my first exposure to anime, because they showed all the old stuff back when cable was good. Yep, exactly. They showed like Speed Racer and not Gundam Wing, Voltron. And I'm like, what is this way of animating things? Oh man, we're really lagging here. Sorry, everybody. Maybe it'll speed up. This is what I was supposed to do yesterday. I must have really... I'm not carrying objects suitable for that location. What object am I carrying? Oh, why is it so laggy? Oh, that's where I'm supposed to drop the item. Hang on, we're gonna resort to some walkthrough shenanigans because I don't want to waste people's time. Where to assemble bomb parts. Interesting. It says that I need to drop them at the spire, This is the spire. The laggy spire. Interesting. Yeah, we might have to reboot this game. It's really laggy right now. Let's go this way and figure it out. But yeah, Toonami was my first exposure to like Dragon Ball Z. And I remember being a kid and being like, this is the best show ever. And then even as a kid, I I remember being like, wow, they really drag out these episodes. But yeah, I don't know if you saw the previous episode where I broke down my my anime viewing, but I have not seen too much anime. Just the popular ones that probably make me an anime tourist. Wow, this is... I keep hoping that like maybe like shaders just need to compile or something needs to compile or something, and the frame rates will come back. But man, we might need to reboot Prime Hack and fix this. Another reason why I want to get my capture card cooperating with my Steam Deck, so I can run this game without having to stream it at the same time from my laptop. At least things aren't choppy, so that's okay, I guess. How do I get up there? Oh, there's a spider ball. Do I have that? No. I got my introduction to dot hack. Is it called dot hack? Do I just call it dot hack, or do I say / With the trailer for the first game back in 2003, which had 4 games in the series. Then there was a TV show in the sequel trilogy. Yeah, I remember watching Dragon Ball Z, and there was like the Frieza saga. Like I tuned in just at the beginning of the Frieza saga, and they only showed, I think it was Toonami was only on like once a week. And so once a week I would like try my best to find a TV to watch Toonami. Didn't always work out. But I do remember catching the episode where Goku went Super Saiyan for the first time, and it was incredible as a kid. Morning, Tim. We're just talking about Toonami. Remember Toonami? As we play the laggiest game of all time. our first experience with anime. I don't think we ever watched Dragon Ball Z together. But we didn't end up watching it somehow. Oh, is this the wrong one? I think this is the wrong one. Yeah, it shot me to the wrong one. Blast. Let's just go back. Fun fact, the guys who voiced the robot Tom was voiced by the same guy that voiced Spike in Cowboy Bebop. I did not know that. I have actually never seen Cowboy Bebop. To my great shame. Cowboy Bebop is one of those things that I'm like, I really need to watch this. Everyone says it's awesome. But I have not viewed. Alright, I can't... How do I... What am I missing here? Oh. That's what I wanted. Oh, it's there. I see. It's like in the center. Carrying object requires Thronian transport module. What? I think I have to go back to Skytown. West. Yeah, I have to go back that way. Spike's credit so quick. I feel like anime, like many things in our society, gets another bad rap along with video games. You know how, like, when it comes to, like, the negative effects of video games, the negative effects of just TV or shows or in general, you get people who are actually, like, they'll talk honestly about it, you know, give it credit where it's due, but they'll also be like, yeah, but, you know, we spent too much time with this. But then there's people who are very clearly, like, they don't they're very clearly, like, against it, not because they think it's bad, but because they just don't like it. Like, I don't enjoy this, and there's evidence to suggest that this is bad for you, so I'm gonna go, like, real hard against it. I feel like that happens a lot. And anime has definitely been prime fodder, even recently, for anyone who just doesn't, like, who has an axe to grind against people who don't enjoy things the way they do. And, like, again, I grew up, you know, I live in a Christian household. My family's Christian, but even in Christian circles, you get people who view anime as, like, demonic, just by default. And it doesn't, you know, it's, they just won't view it as, like, any other type of storytelling medium, just because of the whatever bad connotations come along with it, like any other form of media. It's just like, anime, nope, evil. Man, this is bad. Okay, if I'm not supposed to drop it here, where am I supposed to drop it? Alright, I'm about ready to reboot this because this is really laggy. He's the voice of Wolverine in the early 2000s X-Men Evolution. Oh, did you guys know that? I hope this is true. My kids have been getting into the 1987 Ninja Turtles show, which is awesome, and I love it. But apparently the guy who voiced Shredder was Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Which I think is awesome. Nice little gondola ride. Oh man. What's happening here? Encoding is bad. Shoot. Let's see. Who is watching right now on certain platforms? Alright, no one's watching on X. Let's get rid of... Sorry, X. Goodbye. Yes, Uncle Phil was the Shredder. Sorry, guys, I'm working on fixing the choppiness. This is why I need it to be able to run on my on my Steam Deck. Okay, hang on, let me see here. Okay, X. Goodbye, X. And Rumble. Only got one viewer on Rumble right now, so we'll say goodbye to Rumble too. That should fix it. Man, it's just like some days my computer can handle the encoding. I think it's because it's overheating. Yeah, it's definitely real warm. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. Nice. Hey, look at that, and my frame rates are going up too. Yeah, it's definitely my computer overheating and throttling things. It's a good thing I ordered a cooling pad yesterday, so hopefully that'll come. And I can actually stream to multiple places. Cannot lift objects. I might need a I might need a walkthrough. Okay, we can't go down there. Alright, we gotta go around. Yeah, definitely my computer was working too hard for that one. My bad, everybody. Just trying to bite off more than I could chew with my ghetto rigged system. No, that's not where I want to be. Okay, I'm missing something in there. I need to go back in. Tim, I don't know if you did this with your kids, but when you read books to them, did you did you add voices to the characters? Because like whenever whenever I'm reading Chronicles of Narnia right now with my oldest, and he only likes to read it with me. He doesn't like to read it with mommy because I do the voices. Makes me think I could maybe have a voice acting job one day. Oh, he was in Normal Heroes. I don't remember his name, but what's the guy who played... he played the lead guard in Shawshank Redemption. He was also Sergeant Zip in Starship Troopers, who's also the voice of Mr. Krabs. But he's been in everything. I can't remember his name. How did that not break it? Oops. Clancy Brown, yep. Yeah. That's his name. Alright, hang on. Let me look at this map here. Okay, that's where I got that. I don't need to go back there. That's where my ship is. Turbine. Maybe I need to drop it off of the turbine chamber. Let me see. Turbine chamber. Metroid Prime 3. How about this? Metroid Prime 3. How do I assemble the bomb? The components are located in the turbine chamber concourse, and after requiring you to disable clamps with the seeker missile or boost ball before scanning them with the command visor. Showing off my elite gaming skills. Set up the bomb. Should have done this beforehand. Yeah, I think it's the turbine chamber. That's where I gotta go. And yes, I did voice the characters for the kids. Yeah, it could be fun to be a voice actor, right? I think of like people who've done it like their entire life. Like the voice actress for Ash Ketchum. It's like for 20 something years they were the voice of Ash Ketchum, and now they have to move on with their lives. They probably did other gigs aside from Ash Ketchum, but I'm just saying, it's like... Oh, why is this difficult now? It's all of a sudden difficult. How do I break that glass? That's what I want to know. Tim, I was thinking about that comment you made yesterday about how like grinding by its definition is boring. There was a video, some clips came out from that game designer Lucid. Shoot, I gotta go back the other way. Ugh. This place is... This is like a maze. Man, why can't just Miles show up and tell me exactly how to get there? Or the level be designed in a way that is just so straightforward. Anyway, the developer for Lucid, he had a short clip that was going around X in the small circle that, you know, we have. Basically, he was talking about how getting good or get good, as the kids say these days, like the process of getting good should be just as fun as actually being at the part where you're like, oh, I'm good at this game now. And I imagine that applies to grinding as well. Like, it's kind of like how I was annoyed about how some people were using that, like, oh, this is the boring part, so I'm gonna put something in here so the player can not be bored. And it's like, well, I mean, if you know that there's a boring part to your game, why put it in your game to begin with? And some people didn't like that. Oh, this is the find item room. And Goku in Japan, knew his voice. That's a pretty common one, though. I bet everybody knew that. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I think it does go back to, like, as a developer, do you know if this part of the game is boring, or if this is going to cause some boredness, if that's a word. The thought process should be, what can I do to make this more interesting? Not like, what can I do to speed this along, you know? I feel like that should be the thought process. And, like, obviously you can't please everyone, so everyone's not always going to be like, yeah, this is the greatest part of the game, but I think if you find ways to make the boring parts not boring, you'll hey, buddy. It's just a better overall, like, better overall stance to take on game design. It's like the most boring parts are like the loading screens, for example. Like, I think of KOTOR and how, like, they put like little bits of lore that would just cycle through. And I read all of those, and it teaches you a lot about the game world. That's like a pretty clever way and simple way to make a boring part not boring. Man, I am just bad at this game. How do I get in there? I can't even control the map. I have to get into the turbine room, but I can't. I forget what specifically the example was about, like, getting. Oh, it was the yellow paint. That it all stems from the yellow paint. it was like, this part of the game is boring, so therefore I'm gonna make it easy for the player to get from A to B, which, you know, by that logic, 90% of Metroid Prime 4 was in a sense covered in yellow paint to get you from point A to point B. I might actually have to do this off screen and figure this out. Off stream, I mean. Okay, looks like I gotta go at it from another angle and get above it. I just put in a motorcycle. Area gamers love those. I remember grinding in Legend of Dragoon. Had to do it end game due to the final boss all pretty much being immune to your dragon form. Still don't understand why people praise that game. Yeah, that could be an issue of bad game design. You know, it's, if you get to the end of the game and you're not prepared for the final boss, like, I'm not talking about like a secret final boss, I'm talking about like the final boss. Like, you could maybe make the argument that you didn't play the rest of the game right, but you know, there's such a thing as making a boss too hard. that's just unfair. Okay, I need to get up there. And I shall. Whoa. Okay, didn't mean to do that. Aha, that was where we're going. I remember Quest 64. There is a port of it. And I kind of want to play it. There's a PC port of Quest 64, I think. I think there is. I feel like the game deserves a mention in this conversation about grindy games. Tim, do you remember the like, it wasn't a cheat, but it was a way that you could like take advantage of the game's agility system, which controlled how you, like, how frequently you're able to actually dodge an attack? I had to keep renting Quest 64. That's how we rented it too. So apparently in that game, your dodging or your agility stat raises with how fast, how much you move. So what people would do is they would take a rubber band and like angle their Nintendo 64 controller joystick in just the right way so that he would just run in a circle and then just leave it there like overnight. And because of the system of like how much you walk increases your agility, you would just wake up the next morning with like max agility and no one would be able to hit you. That's why this is broken. Is unable to be repaired. I hope this is the way I was supposed to go. Please. Seriously? Basically, wait, the combo for Quest 64 allowed you to beat anything was simply to have them the vamp, shield, and smack. You take next to no damage and you just beat them through attrition. Discovered and beat the game long before the internet was a thing. Smugly nods. Oh, I think I got past the forest and then that. And there's lost interest. We did, yeah, we did. We never actually owned it. That right there, Eamon, is what is known as a degenerate strategy. There's one strategy that's so good that it just wins everything. Oh my gosh, did I not? I might have walked right by this and not noticed it. Man, if Seek the Sky were here, he'd be so disappointed with me. Yeah, in general, degenerate strategies are to be avoided in game design. Like if you find that there's one degenerate strategy in your game, you generally want to avoid that as much as possible. but if the game itself is not fair and you have to use it, that's an even worse problem. When I say avoided, I mean not by the player. The player can do whatever they want, but if you notice as a developer there's a degenerate strategy in your game, it's like maybe you're doing something wrong. Okay, I can't. Oh, are you serious? Oops. This is what I was supposed to do. Okay. Missile. Nope, those are the locks. You just gotta get close enough to lock onto them. Or this. Progress. Yeah, I mean it is really hard to avoid, especially when you have combinations and like it's kind of like how in okay, so like complexity is the idea that you want all like the different things in your game to interact, and you want it to be done in ways that are both foreseen by the developer and unforeseen. And when you have a system that is so complex that you don't know like exactly what's going to happen, it's really easy for a degenerate strategy to like reveal itself. And the question is, how easy is it for that degenerate strategy to be pulled off? Like if it's super easy, then you probably want to remove it from your game. But if it's difficult, then maybe just kind of leave it in, because or if there's like a high risk to it. Like if they try to pull it off the one-hit kill on the boss, and they fail, they'll die. Maybe leave it in, because it's like a risk-reward thing. But if it's too easy, I'm trying to think of another. The one that comes to mind is in like in Donkey Kong 64. Like this, I think it was the second boss was this like Jack in the Box, and the real way to beat it was just like hop around on the different platforms and not get stomped by it, which wasn't too difficult, but a degenerate strategy in it was like you could hide on the platform that got you into the arena, and it would just bounce back and forth and not be able to get you, and you could just jump up, hit, and then run back to the box. Like that'd be a degenerate strategy. Or like an example of a good degenerate strategy is like the Hadouken, the special like Hadouken or Shoryuken or Zero Saber in the Mega Man X games. Like they're not hard to pull off once you get them, but getting them is the challenge. It's like if you take all the time and to figure out how to get them and you do get them, that's your reward. You know, that kind of thing. But like cheesing a boss is a degenerate strategy. Am I going the right way? I'm gonna go to my ship because it's right there. There was a sequel? I have to play this game. The sequel is quite it was supposed to take 100 years after the original and able to either play as a mage or warrior. What system was it for? Ow. Oh, it was canceled. The studio went bankrupt. Bummer. I wonder why. That was mean. Speaking of sequels that we'll probably never get, did you guys ever play Beyond Good and Evil? I played it for Steam. When it got its PC port, and it was fun. It was a fun action stealth game with its own cool world, and like it was really cool. The game is great. I never actually beat it though because I got to this one section where I couldn't. It was like a collectathon. You had to collect all these different pearls and like win races and things like that, and I just couldn't do it or didn't have the time, but I kind of want to revisit it. That being said, I kind of hope they don't make a sequel to it, because the trailer they released for it was, I mean, it looked great, but I don't know, it just didn't have the same kind of whimsical vibe to it. They were clearly going with more adult-oriented humor, which I don't think fit with the rest of the game, with the original game. But yeah, the game was all about like a shadowy government doing things, and you were a reporter. It was cool. I'm gonna have to revisit that game. Maybe I'll play it on stream. That said, extra credits have a good video on the topic called faux strats, i.e. why learn new tech in a game if the early stuff is worth. Yeah, okay, yep, that's definitely something to consider. I still remember the various teasers and trailers for Beyond Good and Evil 2, yeah. Fun fact, there are still new job postings going to clean going clean into this year for production for Beyond Good and Evil 2. I'm gonna have to look up that term, faux strat, or I imagine it's pronounced faux or foo strats, or foo strats. That makes more sense, because in foo bar in programming is a term. Got it. Yeah, I remember in one of Aaron Hansen's Ego Raptor sequelitis videos, he talks about Castlevania and how Castlevania 2, no, Castlevania, the Super Castlevania, was not as good as. This is not where I want to be. Ugh. Sorry. Because, yeah, so Castlevania, Super Castlevania was not as good as the original because basically your whip, your maxed out whip, was better than everything else. And the main reason for that is because you could whip in a 360-degree angle. So, like, the reason why you wanted different weapons in Castlevania 1 was because they had different firing arcs. Like, you could throw an axe up and it could go up and down, which was better for... They were all situational. And you as the player had to kind of memorize what was coming next and what weapons would be best suited for the situation that you're going to be in. Castlevania 2, Super Castlevania, kind of removes that. Because the whip just does all the work. Like, you don't have to worry about other weapons, maybe in some situations, but in your general, like, adventuring, the whip was the best weapon. So, like, why use anything else? So that's not quite the example you were going for with your foo strats comment, but I think it's kind of related. Balancing for skill. Yeah. Do that. I'll check it out today. Oof. Man, I hope that cord I ordered works and I'm able to do all the streaming from the Steam Deck, and then my cooling pad will come in, so my system will not be 1 billion degrees while I do this. Okay, now I think I need to go get this one. Man, what a difference this game is compared to Prime 4. I'm still not done complaining about Metroid Prime 4. Like, Prime 4 is like child's play compared to this game. And this is the worst one of the trilogy. Like, even with guiding you and giving you objectives, it's like... The episode goes hand in hand with counterplay. Cool. I'm gonna watch those today. Oops. Whoa. Oh, come on. Odds I've already seen it, as I think I should do a while back, though. I may be wrong. It was other extra credits episodes I shared. Okay. Yeah, it's possible. At this rate, I'm hitting about like 50% of the videos that you send me. Amen. So slowly but surely, I will get to them. We're gonna save just because I'm paranoid. Then perfect imbalance into depth versus complexity. I think the algorithm on X is finally like picking up because I am getting more and more people, or maybe I'm just following the right people, posting about game design. Which I love talking about. Okay, good. I think this is it, guys. Someday we'll get our Discord, the Discord running up nicely. I hope I can, I don't know, we'll see how things develop. I know that on Thursday, I forget his screen name, I'll post about it, but I was on a panel with him. His name was Carl. That was his screen name. When I went on Nerdpoil's platform, but he wants to do a watch together. Basically, they watch old school X-Play segments, and this one's on usually they're on like gaming history, and the one we're gonna watch is on the gaming crash in the 70s. I think it was in the 70s or 80s. I don't know. Maybe I need to watch it, but it's supposed to be like live reaction, so it'll be fun. But I'm doing that on Thursday this week. And then I know some other guys that I've done collabs with in the past want to continue on and do some stuff. So I'm hoping that as I grow, I'll be able to get more ideas and better improve the Discord. That guy was like, "There is no time to lose." I feel like I should save. Skinner box tech. I saw something saying that the Steam box, or whatever the Steam's console is, is delayed again or something because of the shortage of AI and the shortage of RAM and other components, because everything's going into AI. I'm telling you, man, I don't know. When I think about that, it gets me really black-pilled. It's like I do think the future is everyone owning just like you pay for internet, and then you also pay for RAM, and then you also pay for storage. Like, it's all like subscription. It's all gonna be like cable bundles back in the day. Like, get the premium plan and you get 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of data. Basically, it'll be like you'll have a subscription service for the PC that you would have built. You'll get a graphics card that does this if you get this plan, and a graphic card like that. That's what it's going to be eventually. It's all going to be remote access, and all you need is a strong internet connection. Ugh, I hate it. I hate thinking about it, but that's probably where it's going to be. I think Jeff Bezos said as much. Hold on to your hardware, everyone, and learn how to fix it. 'Cause that's the one thing I really want to do. I want to learn my way around a circuit board, and I have all the tools for it. I just haven't had the time or energy to combine it with everything else I want to do.
Data received.
Sure is, and it sucks. It does. Getting real tired of all the greed, especially after Amazon saying they want you to not have a personal computer or own your own game. Yep, exactly. Like, I did sell a lot of my stuff, but I still have my N64, I still have my Super Nintendo, and a bunch of games for it.
Return to the AU chambers so that we may discuss the final stage of our plan.
Doesn't help, like, people are really building up their collections now, which is why, even though the market is, like, oversaturated for retro stuff, nobody is willing to drop their prices on it. Like, nobody. It's ridiculous. Like, you'll pay just as much, if not more, for games that you paid for as a kid now. Because people sense that this is where it's going and they want to have everything, even though they're probably gonna, like, die over time. And, like, I say that, and I've got a box right below me with all the Game Boys that I rebought. I basically cannibalized my Star Wars cards collection so I could sell it and rebuy things from my youth.
Excellent work, Samus. To drop the bomb onto the Leviathan shield, you must move. This must be done. This is a dangerous mission. Will you accept it?
No. Now, if I hit no, does the world explode? Do I have to abandon anybody, any of my friends? I have no friends to abandon, so. There's a lady talking about. Yeah, I might have missed. There's a lady talking about this for normal people. She bought a laptop for school and started writing work in Word, only for the 30-day free trial to end. It cost her $30 a month. Ugh. Then she bought a printer, but despite having a full printer cartridge, refused to let print without a subscription. Really? No way.
Do you understand what you were supposed
Oh,
to do?
HP. What did he say? Do I understand what you're supposed to do? Yeah, drop the bomb.
Use the escape capsule to return here.
Skytown migration complete.
You must now proceed to the bomb pod. We will release the cables once you're in position. We regret this mission places you in mortal danger.
What did he say? Where am I supposed to go? Drop the spire to the shield. To drop the bomb using the Leviathan shield, you will have to move the bomb directly over the Leviathan and shut down the engine. This must be done manually. Your task will be to shut down the engine. When the bomb reaches, after shutting down off the engine, quickly use the escape capsule to return here. Okay, so I gotta go to where that escape capsule is. Which is where? Yeah, I hate how that World Economic Forum saying has become like, that's just a conspiracy theory, when it's like, no. It's not. There are people who think that way. And honestly, it's like, I get it. Like, there is a problem when people get too attached to physical objects, but when you get into the more like philosophical like stuff about how property rights are like the foundation of of like order and things like that in society. I don't know. It just by taking away everyone's property, I think it'll do something to the psyche of people, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's in a good way or a bad way yet. Did I just die? Oh no, I have to do this manually, that's right. And probably with a timer and exciting music. Okay, now what?
Zenus, we are sensing a large number of enemy units in your vicinity. The pirates must have detected your movement toward the seed. If the spire is destroyed before reaching the impact site, all hope for Elysia is lost. You must defend the spire at all. Use everything in your power to ensure.
Bread and circuses, the masses won't do anything about it. Yeah. I mean, it'd be one thing if... That's the thing, though. It's... You know, it's like... The good thing about not owning anything is that it's like, okay, you know, people will not be so attached to physical things anymore, and they might care about the other things that really matter, and that's great. But the problem is... it's like part of the part of the stated goals of the World Economic Forum is for like control. You know, like they don't just want to make it so that people live in a nice little utopia. It also comes with a lot of strings attached to it. Like, you have to give up a lot of personal freedom based on, you know, some of the things they stated. And I'm pretty sure it's not like, again, it sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it's, like, you can just look it up. It's all there on their website and what they want society to look at and things they've said, so. Don't want to get too conspiratorial here in a game about space pirates. If they just give me my video games, just leave me alone. Block. Oh, they're actually shooting him. More than one? gosh, why would this thing die? Thank goodness. Alright, where's this gunship? Where are you going? Alright, here we go. Yeah! We did it! Something that should bother people, but doesn't. People are wrapped up in the rat race of life. The WF says 90% of people don't live lives worth living and can't help them with their suffering. I'm thinking about that. Boop. But I also don't want to die here, so...
Engine override initiated. Deploying emergency escape pod.
Hey, I remember that thing.
Scuttle sequence commencing. 5 minutes until engine shutdown.
So I could hang out there for 5 minutes. I probably just missed a scan.
Escape pod
Of course.
malfunction. Opening repair access tunnel.
That's why they give you 5 minutes. Oh no. Alright, here we go. Come on, there we go. High pressure welding. Oh, seriously?
Engine shutdown in 4 minutes.
Oh my gosh, seriously. Yes. Okay, probably got another one of these to do. Let's do this. Oops. This is hard to do without a Wiimote, I'm not gonna lie. Yep, this is really hard to do without a Wiimote.
Engine shutdown
Oh my
in
god.
3 minutes.
Yep, if you miss once, I think if you break the chain... No! Do it all in one shot. Yeah. Another one.
Engine shutdown in 2 minutes.
Yay.
Escape pod online.
Oh my gosh. Did I do it? Push the Wii. Okay. Yeah, okay. Cool. Ironically, they're dumb enough to keep poking gamers unaware we grind for a living and hate being told what to do. No, nothing busybodies. I don't know, man. I mean, Gamergate, if you think back to the Gamergate days, which in a sense is still going on, there are channels out there that are huge, that, you know, they would consider themselves gamers, but basically both sides of that issue are still alive and well. Did I lose the chat? Is the chat not showing up on the screen? Oh my goodness. I just noticed that. Ugh, gosh. This whole stream, the live chat was not showing any live chat.
The plan worked.
Thanks. Yeah, it never did. And I don't want to mess with it right now. The plan worked. Thanks,
The
brain.
bomb's impact resulted in destruction of the Leviathan shield, and the seed is now exposed.
And I think, I mean, yeah, yes, gamers, most of them just want to be left alone. But, you know, I think, you know, back when we were kids, gaming was a kind of a niche, what do you call it? It was like a niche hobby. Like, it wasn't popular. You got called a nerd, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, you weren't a popular kid if you liked video games. So I think even when, at the advent of the internet, with the advent of Gamergate, that was still a thing. Now, because of the popularity of gaming and pop culture, it's much more in the forefront of people's minds, and, you know, it attracts
Data received.
people from all walks of life, of all different political and cultural views and things like that, and they all have their opinion on things, and it's just the discussion is very much still alive and well. I mean, again, like the channel I came across yesterday had 150,000 followers, and they're saying a lot of different, a lot of the videos were on, you know, different topics of that would be on one of the sides of Gamergate, and it was, channel was thriving. So like, you can't say that gamers will all be unified in, you know, the progress that is being made towards, like, removing physical consoles and physical hardware from people's lives. And, like, maybe I'm trying to be optimistic towards it, but I think that if people can actually discuss things in a healthy way, which is contrary to the internet, I know that, but if we get more and more discussion on things, and not to get all lovey-dovey, but you have to see other people as people and not just like opponents to your own philosophy. I think then it's much easier to kind of see where they're coming from, but at the same time, it would make it harder to like pull the trigger on certain things that will really disrupt people's ways of life, even in their hobbies. Anyway, I was there in the beginning, 2014 for Gamergate. I followed it from the Five Guys Burgers and Fries and the Quinspiracy, then later to GG. Many of the people creating problems in the industry are people that don't like gaming but want to use it as popularity to push their agenda and ideology. I do think yes and no. I do think there are people who are like that for sure, and I do think it's more on one side than another. But you know, the other side has their own agendas as well, and I think it's popular now, right now, for one side to want to shove their own agenda and ideology into a video game in a way that detracts from the game itself, which I think is a horrible way of game design. But that's a whole discussion for another time. Maybe we can talk about that later. But that all has to do with any type of media. You know, a lot of media these days falls prey to that kind of like, I'm going to shove my messaging in this. I'm going to make... it falls prey to the idea of like, I'm going to make a game so that I can communicate this message. Not, I'm going to make a game that people will want to play. Or I'm going to make a movie that will communicate this message and get people to do this. Rather than, I'm going to make a movie that is fun to watch. or engaging for people. It's... You know, the priorities are out of order when it comes to the creative process. It's fine to put messaging in things, even if I disagree with that messaging. But when you get it out of order and you start from the place of what message do I want to communicate versus what game do I want to make and how do I want it to play, then things start to get a little squiffy. Anyway. Great content. Yeah, that's right. I just need to piss a bunch of people off. That's what people tell me. I need to make people angry, and then I'll just see my numbers go right up there. That's not my goal. I don't want to make waves. I want to discuss these things like an adult. Which I feel like we've been pretty good with. You know? I've appreciated your contribution, Eamon, and bringing up the discussion topics. It's good. It's fun. Anyway, all right, we made progress. Next session will be Majora's Mask. We'll do that for a couple days, and then we'll jump back into Metroid for 2 days. So, hope everybody's excited for that. I'll drop the link to my discussion with I forget his name, Carl, on Thursday if people want to watch our reaction to an old X-Play documentary on the gaming crash. And yeah, yay Zelda games. We'll see. Hang on, like the Masterpiece flat that was Arcane Season 1 and turn it, yeah, that's essentially what happened to Arcane. Yes, Twilight Princess, there is a PC port of that. And I say I'm excited about these PC ports, one because they have like not just cool new visuals, but also it runs a lot more optimized on a computer than an emulator. Like this emulator is like really taxing my system right now, even though the game was made like 20 years ago. So I definitely want to do Twilight Princess. So that'll be the next Zelda game we do. Anyway, thanks for watching. Consider subscribing. That'd be great. Like the video, comment on it. Tell me I'm wrong. Anything respectfully, please. And should totally, you're distracting me from my outro. Should totally do a video tutorial on how to set up these emulators. No. No, there's plenty of people who do that. I don't need to try to break into that. I'm smarter than your average bear when it comes to tech savviness, I think, but I'm not like a master by any means. I will check out the Discord. Check out the Discord. There's a Discord link somewhere. I will figure out where that is and post it. Right now, Eamon posts a lot of stuff on game design and game design philosophy, so go check that out. I'll share my stuff as I get there. And hopefully we can build a nice little community together. That'd be a lot of fun. And maybe even play some games. Tim had the idea of doing everybody hopping on Nintendo SO and everybody playing, get a few rounds of Star Fox 64 in multiplayer. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Or Eamon's idea of Pal World TCG. I'm unemployed, all must suffer. Anyway, everybody, have a great Wednesday and Tuesday. Have a great Tuesday. And I'll see you all tomorrow, which is Wednesday. All right, later, everybody.